Hey everyone, welcome to the Swing Edge stream for the Microsoft earnings coming up in 52 minutes. Hope everyone is having a nice day. The markets have been all over the place. I don't know what the heck is going to happen today. Hopefully we get a spike in price on Microsoft. If not, probably going to go down to the downside. But we're here, ready to go. I think earnings come out at 4 o'clock. I haven't checked the exact time, but I will check right now. But we are looking for an earnings beat. I think if we come in around like 290, so let me pull up the side chart here. They're estimating 282. If we get up to 290, I think we're going to have a nice spike in price. But who knows? We can have one little thing come out in the report, and the algorithms will dump the stock. Really, what happened to Meta, I think, may happen to Microsoft today. But we'll see. But as far as the earnings release time, their call is at 5:30, and I don't know what time they're going to be releasing. Let's go on Twitter and see if we can get anything on that. See if earnings whisperers have any insight on when they're reporting. So they should be reporting right after the close. It may come in at like 4:15, but we'll be watching the after hours chart on Microsoft. We also have, I think Google is going to be reporting as well, along with Microsoft, and we have Intel. So we'll throw Intel on this list too for today, just to keep an eye on it. So yeah, so we got Intel, Google. What else do we have here? Did I get rid of that? Hold on. Let's go back to here and get. So this is what we're looking at for earnings today. So today is Thursday after the close. Microsoft, Alphabet, Intel, Snap, Roku, Western Digital, Dexcom, T-Mobile, Gilead, and Agnico. Don't know that company. So those are the earnings coming out. Again, we're watching the big guys, mainly Microsoft for myself, but Alphabet as well, Google. Roku will be interesting as well. So yeah. So we had a little bit of a market dump last night after hours on, which one was it? What was this? It's a suspect. It was Meta. Meta took a big jump, or big leap downwards today. Looks like it's trying to recover. We got a nice gap here. Still have a little bit of a gap to the downside, but we have a big gap for Meta to fill. So I'm actually happy I'm not in this stock. I was going to go into it instead of Microsoft, but hey, we'll see how Microsoft plays out. Funny enough, I was looking at Microsoft. I set the implied volatility on the last stream, and I was looking at 389. We came down right to 389 this morning, like almost to the T. I swear to God, I didn't move this line since the last stream. But we came down to 389.70. I mean, we literally closed right there at 9:30 this morning, and we've been climbing back up ever since. So it seems like we're trying to get a little end-of-day rally on Microsoft. I mean, this is a pretty big move from the downside here. Let's see. Nice 1.92% move so far. We're up about 2.5%. So we're trying to claw back. Microsoft's showing some strength to the upside. So we're getting in the buyers before last minute buyers before the earnings release. So hopefully we go up. Other than that, we are also looking at Google. Google's looking actually. Google did drop this morning, but they recovered most of their losses from yesterday or between last night. And I think Google's setting up for a nice climb up here. A lot of volume coming in. Still got about 47 minutes left till the close, so we're going to get some big volume spikes, last minute buyers and sellers coming in here. So we will be watching. I mean, you can already probably see it on the 5 minute, maybe the 15 minute. Volume is starting to increase here on Microsoft as well as Google. Nvidia, I'm really excited to get into this trade for next month on Nvidia. I'm going to be doing a stream this weekend to update you guys. I'll probably do a stream on Sunday, maybe late Sunday. I'll get you guys updated on what to do there. Right now, we're just focusing on earnings today. I'll try to make this stream quick. I'll probably stream until 4:15, 4:30. Hopefully, I don't get pulled aside at work. Seems to be a common occurrence whenever I stream during the day, I get pulled aside. So I apologize if I have to take a step away from the stream over the next hour or so. But so far today has been a little rough for Microsoft. Although the overall market seems to be consolidating and finding a footing, thank God. I just hope what happened with Meta does not occur with Microsoft today. So, as far as the implied volatility goes for Microsoft, it has increased a little bit since my last stream. And looking at a about 22-point move to plus or minus. Implied volatility is at 131% and counting on the April 26 contract. So I'm going to set my prices now. So about 22.36. Let's put those figures on the chart. I'm going to get rid of this lower end line. 22.36 to the upside. Just kind of rough it right there. And 22.6 to the downside. All right. And I'll make these lines green. Oops. And I'll make this one red. I'll actually thicken this up so we can see it a little bit better. There we go. So that's what we're looking at for implied volatility, upside, downside. So in percentage terms, looking at a not too much of a move, big move. I mean, for Microsoft, this is a big move, 5% to the upside and about 5.7% to the downside. 5.6 to the upside, 5.7 to the downside. So not too bad. I've been watching Microsoft on the 15-minute today, keeping an eye on this. And yeah, I'm really hoping we can get to that 400 level before the close, but we'll see. So right now it's just kind of wait and see. It's what I've been doing this whole month, right? So, again, still holding my position. I bought it back on 328. We're down 69.51%. So, not a winning month so far. If Microsoft were to get back up to, let's say, 419, I think my position would be just at about break even. Maybe I'd be down 10 to 15%, which being down 10, 15% on an options contract, I consider that flat. I mean, it is still a loss, don't get me wrong, but if you know anything about options, they're very volatile, and getting a 10%, 15% loss on an option is really not that bad. So Now, granted, I only will be in this position for another 1, 2, 3 days, so I'll be selling out on the 30th. So we'll be done with Microsoft and we'll be moving on to Nvidia. Nvidia is going to be the next trade. And I'll also be doing a alternative trade for the month of May, since Nvidia right now, let's look at the contract I will be purchasing. So I'm going to be going with the 21 June contracts at the 45 Delta. That buy price is about $5,500. So pretty big position. Yeah, I'll be giving you guys an alternative trade that's a little bit cheaper with good statistics behind it still. And we'll see where it goes. But yeah, all eyes are on Microsoft, Google. It's going to be a pretty big event. Now, if you know anything about the S&P 500 components, can I get this? Let's show it on here. Let me get this. Here we go. This is the S&P 500 ETF components, right? So Microsoft is the largest stock in the S&P 500 by portfolio weighting on SPY. So whatever happens with Microsoft today, you're going to see that translate into the rest of the stock market. You can argue Google as well, although Microsoft has about 3 times the weighting in the S&P than Alphabet does. Maybe less, because they have 2 classes here. So it would be about 4%. So just a little less than twice the amount of weighting on Microsoft than Alphabet. But Google and Microsoft and Google are going to move the S&P tonight. So be ready. Either to the upside or downside. We'll see. And again, just to take a deeper look into the earnings. These are dividends. Go to earnings. So for the quarter, we're looking at a estimate of 2.82 on the EPS, earnings per share. Estimated revenue is going to be $60.86 billion. Most likely, we're going to come in above. Microsoft usually beats or meets the estimates. But if we get good guidance in their report and solid numbers, we'll see what happens. There's a good chance that Microsoft does spike up today. But then again, there's a lot of stuff going on in the economy. We had GDP numbers come out today. They came in a little bit lower. I think they came in at 1.6. I can get that figure for you guys right now. Thursday. Yeah, here you go. So we're looking at so many pop-ups. Okay. Come on, website. Let me reset this. So we're looking at Thursday, April 25th, right? We had GDP. Where's GDP? Gross domestic product, Q1, 1.6. It actually missed by a lot. The consensus, you could see here, was 2.5%. We came in at 1.6. So we missed by a large amount. So who knows? Maybe we are going into a recession here soon by the end of the year. The economy's slowing down. Unemployment hasn't been ticking up yet, but jobless claims have been coming in lower. So we'll see. We have PCE coming in tomorrow. That's going to be important. Another component of inflation. Of course, if that number comes in higher, you'll probably see some volatility in the markets, most likely to the downside. So a lot of things going on in the markets right now, guys, as there always is. But that's why even if Microsoft and Google come in good with their earnings today, doesn't mean we're going to have a rally after hours. Right? So it's kind of, it's a gamble. At the end of the day, it's all a gamble. You really don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully we get a surprise beat. It seems like in the past, Microsoft has been surprising. 9%, 5%, 12%, 5%. So as long as we don't miss, I think we'll be all right. But again, we can have one thing in the earnings release that the big money doesn't like, and they send the stock plummeting. So, and really, what happened to Meta yesterday or the on Wednesday night? That really took a. I mean, they still beat, but they were pretty much saying that. I think if I can state this correctly, they were saying that their AI side of the business isn't generating any profits yet. So right now, they're just investing heavily into AI still, as most companies are, but they aren't seeing any profits turning out from that. So, but still not a bad thing. I mean, it's kind of expected that these companies are going to be, they're tech companies at the end of the day, right? So they're always driving growth, always driving innovation. That's just the nature of the beast with these kinds of things. So, but Microsoft is a much more profitable company than Meta, more established. They are the largest company in the S&P. I don't know if they're still the largest on the S&P. Are they? They are. So, by market cap, Microsoft is the big dog, the top dog, coming in at 2.96 trillion market cap, and Apple is right behind it at 2.6 trillion. So, this is a big report. It's one of the biggest earnings, for the S&P and for the markets. So it's going to be interesting to see this. So it looks like the markets are. So the Dow was down a lot this morning. It was down, I think, almost 500, around 500. Let me check. Down 700, came back up. Now we're only down 321. And the NASDAQ. Did I say NASDAQ before? Dow Jones was down 700. Now it's down 322. The NASDAQ is recovered actually pretty nicely. It was down 300. Now it's back up, down 75. So not as bad. So NASDAQ is doing slightly better than the Dow Jones and the S&P. Or not the S&P is doing better than all the other indexes. But so that's a good sign that NASDAQ's trying to recover here. But all eyes are on Microsoft and Google, and Intel for that matter. For Google, we're looking at a 1.51 EPS earnings estimate. And for Intel is expected to come in lower. Intel could see a nice pop here if the earnings do come in good. Don't discount the fact that Intel surprises on today's earnings release. So, and that could be why Intel's up, about 2% right now. Granted, it has gotten beaten down over the past month. I think it's down about 20%. Last time I checked, 20.22% on Intel for the month. So right now, Microsoft's down 5% on the month. And we'll see. Really hoping Microsoft can get back above that 400 level. We're only about $1.30 away, and we're pretty close. So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to cover. We'll be here for the earnings release coming up in 33 minutes. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if it's your first time here. I have the Discord link below. It's free, no subscriptions, no paywall, nothing like that. You can join the community, and hopefully we can all make money together. Been been doing good this year so far. This month and March, so this month and last month, haven't made money. February and January, we did really well. I did really well. Made good money on Netflix and Nvidia. And then going back further, December I was in Eli Lilly, lost money on that, and then I was in AMD for November, made money on that. So I think so far, how many wins have I had? 1, 2, 3. 3 out of 5 months I've been doing this on this channel. So, and I'm profitable too, right? So I'm in profit so far. And if you take the win rate of 3 winning months over 5 total months I've been reporting on this YouTube channel, it's only a 60% win rate, but I'm in profit by a good amount. So it just shows you that you don't need a high win rate to make money in the markets. You just have to manage your risk correctly and follow your strategy. So if it's your first time here, the way I trade, just to go over it really quick, I like to select contracts that are about 45 days out till expiration. So I'm going to be going into Nvidia, for example, next month. I'm going to be entering on the last day of this month, so April 30th, I'll be entering Nvidia. I'll be going with the June 21st contract, so that is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So by the time we get down to the last day of this month, this DTE on June 21st will be at 52 days till expiration. So I go about 45 plus days out on the duration, and then I select a 45 delta on the options chain. So if I were going to enter right now, I would be going with a $880 strike on Nvidia. And yeah, then I would buy it and hold it until the end of the next month. So I'd be entering on April 30th and closing on May 31st. So pretty simple strategy. Pretty easy swing strategy. I think the hardest part is just staying disciplined to your strategy and being patient. Again, this isn't day trading or scalping. This is slow moving, aggressive investing, in my opinion. So it's a little bit different than what most YouTubers push out here on the YouTube trading realm. Most people like to day trade and scalp. I've tried it. I've made money. I've lost money scalping and day trading. I've always found swing trading just so much more easy to do, and it just makes for a better investment strategy, because you're also able to leverage your time. Instead of sitting in front of a computer clicking buttons, you're able to just set and forget a trade and go on with your day, work a normal job, go to school, whatever, compared to day trading. Not saying day trading is not a good way to make money in the stock markets, but I've always found it difficult to do consistently over a long period of time. So looking at Microsoft here, it looks like we're trying to reclaim this $400 level. Getting pretty close. Coming up to the last 29 minutes of the trading session. Volume is starting to increase. That's a good sign. So last minute buyers are coming in here before the earnings release. So I'm not going to be covering the earnings call. If you want to go get that, you can go to other channels, news channels. I'm sure they'll cover it. But I'm just here for the actual move in the stock price. To project, now of course the options market closes at 4 o'clock, so I won't know what my position will be at exactly. Right, so if I show my position down here, holding 3 contracts, I won't know what my open P&L will be until tomorrow morning at 9:30. But I could still do an options calculator. Optionsprofitcalculator.com. It's completely free. Just gonna click on long call here, put in my contract or my symbol. Current price is at $3.99. I'm gonna put an updated price in here. And we are holding May 17th, 4:30 calls at 1180. So May 17th, what did I say, 4:30? 4:30 calls at 1180. And I have 3 contracts. I just confirm that those are the correct amounts. 17 May, 4:30, 1180. Yep. And I'm going to click calculate here. And this will show me the projected gains or losses. Now, of course, I'm not going to be holding this contract until expiration. And you can see why. If I did hold these contracts till expiration, I would need Microsoft to go up 10% to at least break even. I'm going to be closing out this trade on the 30th, so I'm going to put in 0430 on the date range. Right, so we only have a few days left, and we'll open up these price ranges a little bit more. Let's put it up to like 450. So for me to break even on this trade on Microsoft by, let's say today, I would have to be at around 425. So 419, 425 I would break even. And then by the 30th, I'd have to be at around 427 to break even. Most likely that won't happen. But never say never. Most likely I'll be probably down here in the losses, 79 to 80% loss. That's usually how it goes, right? So all right. So that's what we're looking at. We'll keep this up just to refer to once the bell closes. Yeah. So is anyone in Google? I wonder if we have any Google traders. I don't know what Google seasonality is for this month. I haven't checked it. All right, Google's got a decent average return for the month of April. Over the past 10 years, I think it's a little bit better, 67%. July seems to be a great month for Google. I don't even know if I trade Google for July. I have to check, but not bad. So it's kind of a coin flip right now. I mean, it's always a coin flip at the end of the day. It's either it goes up or down in terms of price, but there's a good chance Google goes higher here on the earnings. So we're just going to keep an eye on Microsoft here. Seems like it's topping out around this 399 area on the local highs for the day. Let's look at Google. Google's ranging as well. Intel's trying to move up higher here. Nvidia's starting to pull back a little bit. Meta, Apple. So this is a pretty big earnings for the entire market. Microsoft is a top leader as far as the S&P goes, so whatever we see here happen on Microsoft may translate into the rest of the earnings. I think next week, let's see what's up next week. When does Nvidia report? Nvidia's reporting in May. Meta already reported. Apple's reporting on the 2nd. Amazon's reporting on the 30th. So next week, yeah, AMD. Netflix already reported. Did they report? Yeah, they did right there. Tesla, I think Tesla reported too. Yeah, they went up 12%. So it's not showing the, here it is. LOY, 30th. So next week is going to be a big week for earnings as well. It's really kicking off with Microsoft, Netflix, Meta, Google, Intel. Those are the big dogs that are reporting so far this week. So if anyone's in Google, Microsoft, Intel, good luck today. Probably going to need it. It's been a rough earnings season so far, especially with Meta and Netflix. Stocks have been getting beaten down. Okay. Getting a decent amount of volume on Microsoft now. I mean, that volume is going to really kick in. It should really kick in right now. End of day. So we're going to be watching right here. See if we get any volatility. You could just see the difference in volume comparing to yesterday, right? See how much more volume there is? It's so much more elevated today. Let's really see it on the 15-minute. Higher volume, and we're going to the upside. So that means big money's pushing this higher. I think whoever's bearish or shorting Microsoft, they've probably been in their positions for a couple days already. So makes sense why the higher volume is pushing the stock price up right now. I want to know the exact time for Microsoft. Earnings calls at 5:30. So they should be reporting right after the bell. So we'll see this move in price pretty much instantaneously. If I really want, I could do a split screen of Google. Google and Microsoft. Having trouble getting up to that 400 level. Looks like we just double topped at 399. So we could have set a seller's wall. Seems like we have a wall of sellers right at 399, holding it down, which could be a bad sign. Again, if you're in any positions right now, this goes for a lot of other stocks too, and you're not comfortable with the risk, it's probably not a bad idea to take some profits or take some risk off the table right now before earnings. That would be the smart thing to do. Um, if your risk is already managed from the start, it's really just sit back and wait at this point. Let's look at the real quick implied volatility for Google. A little bit higher, 142%, about 9.36 points. Switch this to a daily. Nine point 36. Pretty big jump here. So for Google, we're looking at 165 to the upside, and then to the downside, we're looking at about 146. Slightly bigger move on Google compared to Microsoft. These two white lines on Microsoft on the left side of the screen, these are just support and resistance levels I've had drawn out for a while now at 400 and about 415. So those will be key levels to watch. Thought I would update the stream title to Microsoft and Google since we're watching both. Keep an eye on Intel. I'm not going to watch Roku or Snap. Those are really just smaller market caps that I really don't care about, although they may have great upside or downside potential. For some reason, I'm just getting the idea right now to just buy like puts on Snapchat. I feel like whenever I look at the earnings on Snap, it just plummets. But I'm not going to do any discretionary trade right now. Can look at Snap's seasonality. $50-50 coin flip. You guys could hit that like button. That's the best thing you can do for me and for this channel. Again, like all my content is free. All my realized gains or losses are real. You can see right here, the only position I'm in right now is Microsoft. I've been holding these contracts since the start of the month. One of the only channels that don't push any subscriptions on you guys and actually show real gains and losses. No trickery here. That's like one of the reasons why I started this channel. It's because I was just so annoyed by fake gurus. Fake gurus showing fake profits and selling worthless courses that people would pay for. It's kind of frustrating to watch that happen. Coming up on 12 minutes. Let's see if Microsoft can get to 400. Now, of course, like my upside target is 419. We could go past that. I mean, if we did that right now, why isn't this working? Oh. Looking at a 5% jump, we could see, 10% jump if it really comes in good. That would get us up to like 440. And at that point, 440, I'd be up pretty good. I'd be up about 77%. Dollar amount, that'd be about $2,700. So, and that can happen, especially if earnings come in, if they surprise by a large amount. It's funny, whenever you have big surprises in price, it's like when you least expect it. Especially with what just happened with Meta, with it going down about 15% last night. It recovered a little bit today. Still down 10% currently. If you have one stock that doesn't do well, people start to think, oh, that's what's going to happen to the rest. Not always. And that's usually when the big moves happen to the upside, right? So, you got to kind of expect the opposite of what people are thinking. All right, coming into the final 10 minutes. I am going to go grab a glass of water. I'll be right back in a couple seconds. All right. Gotta stay hydrated. All right, 399. Looks like we're trying to push up here. Let's go to the 5 minute. So volume's getting higher. Can we breach 400? 400 is big resistance. Big support, big resistance. It's trying. Now with these earnings, after hours speaking, we're speaking about after hours. I've seen earnings come out and the stock dumps 2, 3, 4, 5%, and then it shoots up 10% within like 15 minutes. So hold on to your seats. That goes for any stock on earnings. Volatility is good. All right, pushing up here. Almost at 400. Volume is starting to surge. I'm going to bring it to full screen on Microsoft. We'll keep Google right here on the right hand side. You guys will see the extended hours trading performance there, as well as Intel. I'm going to mark these as red for our earnings, and I'll deselect NVIDIA. I guess we could throw Roku and Snap on the charts or on the watch list just to keep an eye on it. And the gold miners have been surging today. Newmont is up 12% right now. And Snap. Throw those puppies up. So these are all the stocks that are reporting. The big ones, at least. Western Digital, T-Mobile. I'm gonna leave those. We're really looking at the tech and semiconductors today. Ooh, Microsoft just got a big top wick right there on big volume. So last minute players are stepping in here. Earnings should release right after the bell. So we're going to see a move pretty quickly. Microsoft and Intel, or Microsoft and Google, are going to be the two biggest on the S&P reporting today. You can just see their weighting right here. 7.4% of the component for the S&P on Microsoft, and if you add both the Class A and Class C shares on Alphabet, it's about, what, 4.07% for Alphabet. Four minutes. I am going to keep Twitter on my other screen here. Usually it's the fastest place to get the numbers. Pepto-Bismol. That's what we need today. All right, starting to get a little bit of a dip in the Dow. S&P. The Q's looking in VGT. Come back up. I really think Microsoft's going to break above 400 here. I feel it. Think you can do it in 2 minutes and 10 seconds? Or it's going to absolutely reverse. Gotta remember, a lot of big money is in the stock. A lot of people own Microsoft directly and indirectly. So for it to plummet a large amount, that says something. All right, here we go. Come on. It topped out at 399.88. Volume is increasing. Again, still holding my position on Microsoft. Not selling that until Tuesday, next Tuesday. Gonna let it ride through earnings. It's either going to be a great decision or a bad decision. All right, so it looks like we may not get above 400 here. Close to it, though. Sellers are defending here. Right at 399. Oh. This move may happen pretty quick, so of course we're going to have the after hours right on our screen. And we're going to be watching Snap, Roku, Intel, Google, Microsoft on the right-hand side. You'll see the extended hours trading. All right, markets are closed. See what happens. Earnings should be coming out any second. Snap is down 1%. Google down. Oh, that just went off my screen. Hold on, folks. Technical difficulties. Let me put this to a 15-minute. All right, big jump here. 410, 2.68%. 3%. See if it sustains. It may reverse. Coming up to a 414 right at resistance. See if we get a, again, pretty much 420 is our expected move. So we'll see if we top out right here. It looks like so far we got a good earnings. We'll see if it holds though. These things can reverse so fast. Intel down 5%. Snap up 0.5%. Looks like so far Microsoft's the only one that's shooting up here. All right, we're blowing past the expected move now. Not a bad move. Hoping it holds. I could really use this right now. Let the markets digest the news. Let's see what the numbers are. All right. Microsoft revenue came in at $61.9 billion. Estimates were $60.87 billion, so we beat by $1 billion. Earnings per share, $2.94. $2.94. So we beat. Like I said, I wanted to see earnings come in above or at 2.9. We're at 2.94 for EPS. So we beat earnings. We beat earnings by a good amount. I don't know what the exact percentage is, but those are good numbers. That's what we want to see. Of course, we have the earnings call, I think, at 5:30. So that could send the stock in a different direction. Google shooting up 7 point. Okay, Google's shooting up good too here. So we got good moves on both Google and Microsoft. Intel down still 5%. Roku up 1.4. Snap up 0.75. So nice moves on both Microsoft and Google. And Google, I had the expected range. Is it still on here? Did I remove it? Where's the expected range? I thought I listed it on here. Did I put it on the wrong? I swear I put, wow. Nice move on Google. So this is what we want to see. Thought I had the expected move on Google listed. I think I had it at like 10% up, pretty much. So it's probably right at the expected move. Microsoft is right at it too. It's actually a little bit above our implied volatility. So we're meeting there. We'll see if we hold there or reject off of it. But so far, so good. Again, you can let 10, 15 minutes go by and all of a sudden Microsoft's up 10%. You just got to let these things play out, let the market digest the information, and take it from there. Google's moving up even further, 11.13%. Microsoft's trying to push up even higher. Great moves. It's what we want to see. So right now, Microsoft's at 421.26 on my options calculator. I'm pretty much break even now on my trade for Microsoft. Pretty much break even. Probably down about 10% or so, 8%, somewhere around there. If you guys haven't already, hit the like button. Hit the like button if you're making money. Google's up 12% now. Nice. 5.5. Roku's up 8%. So other than Intel, which got smashed even further down, probably a good buy. Other than Intel, everything else is looking good so far. Sitting right at that expected move. $4.19. It's amazing how you could just take the implied volatility, post it on your chart. It's amazing how accurate it is most of the time. Not all the time. I think for NVIDIA, I had the expected move listed and it blew way past it. At the end of the day, it's just an estimate. It's just implied volatility. It's just what the market's thinking, but you can have news that comes out that's even better and the price goes higher or lower than what you're expecting. So, all right. So I was pulling back just a little bit here. Again, you got to let these things digest for overnight, basically. I won't know what my final numbers are by the end of today or by tomorrow morning. You can see my position is not as far out of the money as it were before. 430. 430 strike. What's NVIDIA doing? NVIDIA's up another 2%. What else is moving? Did Amazon report today too? Did I miss? No. Amazon, I think Amazon's reporting tomorrow. Maybe next week. Yeah, Amazon's reporting next Tuesday. But all of tech is moving up. Like I said, Microsoft and Google are one of the biggest components in the S&P, so whatever they do translates into the rest of the market, right? So You're seeing that in Amazon. You're seeing that in Nvidia. A little bit in Tesla. Right? Right now we're up 6%. Let's go take a look. Moving up a little bit higher now. Not bad. I mean, this is a big move, right? 6% move on a $2.97 trillion market cap. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money flowing in. Google's still going up. Intel's going down further. Roku's going up further. Hopefully we don't come all the way back down to 400 on Microsoft. That's pretty much it. We came and we saw, folks. It's looking good. A lot of volatility still, bouncing up and down. Google's at almost 14% now. Holy moly. What did Google do? Look at Google's earnings here. Did Google declare dividend increase? I didn't even know Google pays dividends. Dividend yield. Declare cash dividend at 20 cents per share. That's probably why they're shooting up so much. Google came in at 67.59 on revenue and 61.66 on ad revenue. Here. Oh wow, Google beat by a lot. Okay, so revenue came in at 80.54 billion. Estimate was 79.04 billion. Earnings per share came in at $1.89. The estimate for the earnings per share was $1.53. So Google really beat by a huge margin today. Looks like Microsoft's trying to come back down here. Not bad. Well, I'm glad it didn't dump. I'm not saying we can reverse and come back down flat for either Microsoft or Google, but this is definitely going to help my position. It'll make things a little bit easier going into May for Nvidia. It's always better to lose less money or make money than lose a lot of money. All right, Snapchat is up 22%. I guess their earnings came out around 410. So Snapchat, good thing I didn't buy puts on Snap. Would have gotten destroyed. Snapchat is the earnings winner. What did Snapchat do? Let's go look. All right, Snapchat. Snapchat sees revenue 1.23 billion. Estimate came in at 1.21. Yeah, so Google's moving up a bunch because they declared a 20-cent per share dividend. So these tech stocks are starting to issue more dividends. I think Meta did that already. Microsoft looks like it's consolidating here. Right at the expected move, about 420. All right. So we'll see what happens with the earnings call. Again, the earnings call can move the stock higher up or back down. Usually the earnings call once they start asking questions about the future, you get a little bit more insight as to what the company's thinking, and that, of course, that affects the stock price. But so far so good. Congratulations on anyone who is in Snapchat. Great move on Snapchat. 25%. Keeps moving around so much. Yeah, 25.44. Nice. Amazon's now up 3.77. Nvidia's still up 2. So, rest of the markets are moving. What's the S&P doing? SPY. So the S&P 500 is up 0.78 after hours. So the broad indexes are moving up. Futures are moving up as well. Not bad. Not bad at all. That's pretty much it. I think we've covered everything we wanted to cover today. Again, I'm going to be doing another stream probably on Sunday, this Sunday. We're going to go over my plans to close Microsoft, which is pretty self-explanatory, but I'll go over that. We'll talk about NVIDIA, what I'm thinking there for my trade for next month. And then we'll also we'll research and find a alternative trade for May, since NVIDIA is a pretty large position. It's about a $5,500 trade. So we'll see what happens then. Until then, guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you guys leaving the likes, hitting the subscribe, join the Discord. Again, like, everything I do here is completely free for the community. Real profits and losses. Unfortunately, I can't show you my current position here on Microsoft. The market's closed. But I think I'm around, if we look, let's say the price on Microsoft's 418, we're probably down about 10%, 12%, compared to what I'm down at market close, 62%. So clawed back a little bit of our losses here, which is always a good thing. I will never get upset at that. But appreciate you guys joining, hanging out. Again, make sure to show up on the Sunday stream. It'll be a big, important one. We're going to be going over what our plans are, or my plans are, for the new month. And again, if you're in any trades today that didn't go your way, like, just remember that there's always another trade that you could take advantage of, and, always manage your risk. I preach that like crazy. Always manage your risk. Because if you don't, then you won't be able to hold through your position for days like today with earnings, right? Like, if I had too much risk on the table on Microsoft, I probably would have been out of the position before earnings even released. So, it gives you the discipline and fortitude to hold through your plan by managing your risk. So that's all I have to say. Of course, I'm going to keep an eye on Microsoft for the rest of the day, especially going into 5:30 for the earnings call. Wish you all luck. Snapchat's almost at 29. Oh my God. Snapchat's almost 29%. Holy moly. But I gotta go. I got things to take care of on my end here for work. But I really felt like I wanted to stream today and just do a recap of what is occurring right now, and I'm glad I did, because we're having a good night. All right, guys. Raul bought some Microsoft calls yesterday. Hopefully I'll make some money. I hope you do too. I hope you didn't go too close to 0 DT or the 1 DT. Yeah, because, like, if you're in, like, a April 26th contract, like, you're going to get killed by theta, no matter, I mean, unless the stock goes up a lot more. But, if you wanted to do, like, a earnings play, I would probably be in a 8 or 15 DT at the very least. But yeah, congratulations, January 2020. Okay, all right. So you went really far out. You went with more of a leaps position. Not really, 267, but still. Yeah, so you're probably making a little bit of money. Congratulations. Yeah, I mean, really, all this is seasonality, playing earnings, hanging out. Um, really live for days like this. You know, these are make or break days, right? So once it's over, whatever happens, you know, you either feel really good about it or it sucks. It's the way she goes. So, but glad I got to hop on today and do a little quick stream. How long have we been on for? About an hour and 15 minutes. Um, Congratulations if any of you are making money. Again, if you're losing money, chill out. It's okay. You have new opportunities are always coming to you. You just got to be patient. So, all right, guys, I'm going to sign off here. I'm going to catch up with you on Sunday. We'll explain the new trades, and that's about it. All right, guys, have a nice rest of your day, and see you soon.